These are all my tips when it comes to sizing and shopping secondhand denim online. I hope it's helpful. Hi. So I post a lot about shopping secondhand online, and one of the most frequently asked questions I get is about sizing. I have a part 1 on this video all about sizing fundamentals. This video, I'm gonna go into sizing specifically for pants and denim, because we all know shopping secondhand denim can be a real nightmare and nearly impossible to find the right size. A few things that I want to get out of the way first that I said in my last video is that we all know women's sizing sucks. It sucks. People who are selling online often aren't sizing experts. They're not experts in measuring. They're often listing the item incorrectly, aka they're labeling it women's but it's men's, or vice versa. There's a lot of mistakes that can be made. Here are some things that I know can help you. So the basic measurements that you want to know are your body measurements. Measurements are your waist circumference, the smallest part of your waist, all the way around. You want to know your inseam, which is your crotch all the way to the floor or your ankle, depending on how you want your pants to fit. Also want to know your preferred rise, which is your crotch to where your pants end. Those are the 3 main pants measurements that you'll find listed online. You can also do your thigh circumference. Other circumference that's helpful to have for your body measurements is your hip measurement. Essentially, it's like the widest part of your hip where your ass is all the way around. It's usually around the edge of your crotch. So once you have listed out your body measurements, it's important to also understand how that translates into your preferred garment measurements. There's a couple of ways of going about this, but what I do want to mention first is that secondhand sellers will often measure their garments not by circumference but as flat measurements. And so for all of your circumference measurements, your waist and your thigh and your hip, you want to know what that measurement is when it's halved, basically flat. Once you have listed out your circumference measurements and your flat measurements, then you want to consider how do you want your pants to fit. Here comes where I think most people struggle. They say, oh, I have a 32-inch waist, and so I'm going to get a size 32 pant. The thing is, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, right? Because the smallest part of your waist isn't necessarily where your pants are going to hit. Your pants are going to hit whatever that rise measurement is. So from crotch to the top of your pants. The crows are going outside and my cat right here is about to hunt them. So one thing that's really important to consider when you see a listing online and it says, 30-inch waist, but the rise is say 10-inch. For most people, a 10-inch is slightly below the belly button. But me, for example, I have a long torso, right? I have a lot of room between the bottom of my breast all the way down to my hip. Some people have a really short torso. So where your pants are going to hit is going to be very unique to you, as all sizing is. And so you want to take into consideration what that waist measurement is in conjunction with where the rise is. So if it's 10-inch rise, you're going to measure 10 inches from the base of your crotch all the way up, point there, and then get your hip measurement or measurement where the top of that waist is. So you have an accurate reading on, how exactly those pants are going to fit you, right? Because I have a long torso, right? I prefer rises that are 11 to 12 inches. That hits me right around where my belly button is, which also isn't necessarily the smallest part of my waist. The smallest part of my waist is actually a little bit a few inches above my belly button. And so usually, even though my waist measurement at the smallest part of my waist is 32, pants that are a size 34 tend to fit me better because of where they're hitting me on my torso. That's really important to know. Other things to consider is your own body shape and fit preferences. Say you want a 34 pant because that's the right measurement. Sometimes you don't want it to be skin tight. You want to allow for more ease. Adding an extra ½ inch to your preferred body measurement can sometimes get you closer to the fit that you're looking for. Another trick is to find a pair of pants in your closet that you like the fit of and then take the measurements of that garment and use those measurements as a guide for when you're shopping secondhand online. Another tip that I want to throw out there is oftentimes you can find secondhand denim, like Levi's specifically, that have been altered, but you don't know that they've been altered until you get it home and for some reason the fit is just real wonky on you. You can always ask the seller online to take a photo of the pants inside out so that you can see if there's any inconsistencies with the stitch color or stitch type or any like signs that tell you that this garment might have been altered to help you make your decision about whether or not these pants might fit you. Don't be afraid to ask the seller to provide more information when it comes to measurements or additional pictures. I usually have pretty good luck with a seller adding more info or more photos per my request. Something else that you should take into consideration is the fabrication of your pants. For example, if there's elastane or spandex in the pant, that pant will have a little bit more stretch and give than maybe a 100% cotton pant. You want to take into consideration the weave. For example, if it's denim and it's 100% cotton and you're buying a pant that's the exact same measurement as your waist, it's going to be fitted, but there might be a small chance that it will stretch with wear over time. If you want that fit and you want that process in your denim fitting. I don't love having to like break in my denim just because I like to breathe and I haven't had good luck breaking in denim. Because I buy secondhand already, that denim really already is like worn and broken in as much as it can be, and so like I go by the measurements that I'm looking for.